Hi, I'm Evie Bear, and you're watching Movie Guide. I'm here at the wonderful home of Mark Burnett and Roma Downey.
Hello, nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And we want to talk about the Bible series that's coming out. When is the actual premiere date?
It comes on History Channel on March 3rd, Sunday night. It'll be for 2 hours, 8 till 10, and run for 5 consecutive Sundays. And the finale's on March 31st, which is Easter Sunday.
Yeah, which is the perfect night, of course, that it would end on Easter Sunday. And that particular episode has the crucifixion, the resurrection, the ascension, the conversion of Paul, right through to Revelation. Because the series, of course, we have attempted to tell a meta-narrative, a grand sweeping love story from Genesis through Revelation.
God warned me. He told me to build a boat.
God has spoken to me.
He will lead us to a new home. He has promised descendants as numerous as the stars.
Who are you? My name is Moses. God has set you free.
It's a story, an arcing story from Genesis through Revelation of God's love for all of us. I mean, there's only one perfect character in the entire 66 books, Jesus.
You guys had a bunch of theologians that you brought on, right? Because it's a big thing for, the faith community to kind of portray it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, making the Bible brings with it a huge responsibility, and one that we took very, very seriously. Neither Mark nor I are qualified to teach the Bible, but we brought in theologians, scholars, advisors, so that every step of the way we could be guided, that we could create an accurate retelling, and all of the stories come forward in the spirit of the Bible.
What made you say, I'm going to do the whole thing?
Well, to be clear, we couldn't do the whole thing. 66 books and we have 10 hours. What we chose to do was chose a number of the best-known stories and a few little-known stories that were arcing. So it gave us 5 hours Old Testament, 5 hours New Testament, and the pivot point in the middle is a story of Daniel in the lion's den, which obviously leads on to the Jewish people returning to Jerusalem and the Romans coming in as the worst army they've faced, which was then led into the birth of Christ.
Had we attempted to tell more stories, we would have had to tell them more quickly and perhaps have only been able to deal with them superficially. This way, we've been able to get in under the skin of some of these characters, to invite the audience to walk in the footsteps of some of these characters.
Was there any scene that you kind of, or biblical story that you kind of were like, this is going to be a little bit tough to do on screen?
Yeah, tons of them. I mean, think of the parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Required enormous special effects,
Particularly as we were shooting in a desert, with in the absence of a sea.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely beautiful. We hired an Oscar award-winning team to create the special effects, because the standard is set very high nowadays, isn't it? We got the composer Hans Zimmer to create the score, which is epic. If every good story begins in your heart, in the telling of a story, in order to receive it, your heart has to open. And the score from Hans Zimmer and Lauren Balfe just opens your heart. And in that place, I think it allows, the beauty and the grace of this, big story. And we tell it as one story. It's one great big love story.
The disturbances that took place today are repeated.
I will crush any rebellion.
Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Mary, I am here.
I saw him.
Mary, maybe it was someone else.
He's back.
Blessed are those who have not seen me and yet have believed. I am coming soon.